theyeshiva.net.
There are those who taught the statement of Reb Huna on another situation. There's two versions what Reb Huna said. One is Reb Huna was speaking about our Mishnah. Blowing Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos in Yavna, or where there's a Bezdin, has to be Mifnei Bezdin. There's a whole other version. Reb Huna wasn't talking about that. He was talking about something else. The Ksiv with a pasuk in Parshas Bahar. Let's read the whole pasuk. Once in 50 years you have Yovel. You count 49 years, 7 Shmittas, and we know on the 50th year is a year of Jubilee. Yovel. What happens then? All the ancestral fields that were sold in Eretz Yisrael go back to their original owner. All slaves, all Jewish slaves that have been purchased, everyone is emancipated. Everyone is liberated. There's a mitzvah, and clearly on that Yom Kippur you have to blow shofar. What's the lashon pasuk? Let's do the whole pasuk. V'havarta shofar trua b'chodesh hashvi ba'asal l'chodesh b'yom kippurim taviru shofar b'chol artzach. Something interesting in this pasuk. It starts lashon yachid, ends lashon rabbi. V'havarta shofar. You should blow the shofar on the 7th month, on the 10th day, Yom Kippur. Taviru. All of you should sound the blast of the shofar in your whole land, b'chol artzachem, in your whole country. From here we learn that there's a mitzvah tkiyah shofar on Rosh Hashanah, we know, but on Yom Kippur of Yovel. It's a special mitzvah, zog the Bais diksiv b'yom kippurim taviru shofar b'chol artzachem alamed shekol yachid v'yachid chayev l'tkaya. Don't think it's only a mitzvah on Bezdin. Emes, it starts off with Bezdin. But then it's a chiyuv on everybody. It starts off in Bezdin because it says v'havar toshai for true. Lashon yachid. There's no one Jew, there's many Jews. Why do you start with the singular, you end with the plural? So Chazal understood, first it's a mitzvah on the klal. Who's responsible for the klal? Bezdin, that's their response. They're responsible for klal Yisrael. That's their responsibility. So they got to blow. But then it says taviru, lashon rabim, every yachid has to blow shofar. It's a mitzvah on every yachid. When b'chol artzachem, in the whole country, in the whole land, whole Eretz Yisrael. That's a good shaila. That's a good shaila. Some argue that it's like a different in Rosh Hashanah, it's tkiyah, which would be a big chiddush that everybody got to blow, or that it's the same concept. In other words, everybody has to hear shofar through somebody blowing. But that's. The point is that it's not only in Bezdin they blow shofar. Every Jew has to be part of it. And when the shofar was blown in Bezdin, the slaves would go free. That was like the bell, recess. No, shofar is avada chiyuv on everybody to hear shofar. I mean, those who are mechuyev mitzvahs haseh shazmangla. Oh, so that's what he asked. If it means chayiv l'tkoya mamash, everybody has to take a shofar and blow. It's like a chayvus haguf or it's chayvus shmiyah, right? Good. Amar Reb Huna. Reb Huna said v'im bezdin. Here is Reb Huna said it. It has to be in bezdin. Mai v'im bezdin. What does it mean in with bezdin? Bisman bezdin. The time of bezdin. La fuka shaloi bisman bezdin. The time when bezdin usually sits, which is till chatzos, till midday. Not in the afternoon, after chatzos deloy, then the yechidim can't blow. So according to this Gersh, Reb Huna was not speaking about Rosh Hashanah. He was speaking about Yom Kippur of the year of Yovel. Here he also said it has to be in Bezdin. But here the Gemarah doesn't teach in Bezdin, b'fnei Bezdin. Here the Gemarah teaches bisman Bezdin. Very different than before. Why this change? Oh, very good. So it actually says, Gvaldik Diyuk, Mai v'ikad masla mai v'im bezdin the kamer Reb Huna bisman bezdin. The halekah lefrusha hai v'im bezdin b'fnei bezdin. The b'chal artzachem ksiv. It says blow in the whole country. So now you're going to come and say no. Titus says the whole country. We say no. Got to go to this corner, that corner, that corner. Clearly says b'chal artzachem in the whole land. Right. So therefore, yeah. You could say, you're right. The Torah says b'chol artzachem. The rabbi said not b'chol artzachem b'fnei bezdin. But
there was not a bezdin b'chol artzachem.
Yeah. There was a bezdin in every city, but not b'chol artzachem. Means the entire country. The entire country. There's no limit. You should blow in the entire country.
And
And there were villages, there were towns. To have a bezdin, you had to have a certain amount of people. Huh?
ideally, you see, you come in the
Yeah, you had villages, of
Why
course.
couldn't he tap from the top is man bezdin? I understand it.
There's no need. The im bezdin means with bezdin. But here you can't touch with bezdin because it says b'chal artzechem. So that's Rosh Hashanah shechali is b'Shabbos. The Torah doesn't say b'chal artzechem. It says yom trua. So Reb Huna Taka says you blow. The Chachamim said blow with bezdin, in bezdin, in fnei bezdin.
Was there a takana to not blow on Yovel Shechol is Shabbos for Yovel?
Oh, so remember, Yom Kippur you're also not allowed to carry. Because Yom Kippur you're not allowed to carry, so the same takana they made Rosh Hashanah shechali is b'Shabbos, they made on Yom Kippur of Yovel, which is Shema Yavirenu Arbam is B'Rishus Harabim. So that's why they said you can only blow Bisman Bezdin. Why? Just like Rosh Hashanah they made a takana you're not allowed to blow, because Shema Yavirenu only B'Fnei Bezdin. Yovel they made a takana you're not allowed to blow because you may carry. Yom Kippur you're also not allowed to carry. Just like Shabbos, right? I don't care if it's Yovel, you're still not allowed to carry. So they made a takana, Zman Bezdin. Why Zman Bezdin? Because the first 6 hours a day when Bezdin sits, the authority of Bezdin is more felt in the ambiance. There's a certain aim, a certain awe of Bezdin. The afternoon is, we would say chilling time. That's what the Gemarah says, Zman Bezdin.
So after Shabbos means they didn't blow anymore.
Well, Yovel has not been applicable for a very long time. Only his Bais Rishon till the 10 tribes were exiled. So it's been, because Yovel has a halacha, Kol Yoshvei Aleh. All the citizens have to be, all the Yoshvim, all the Shvatim have to be living in Eretz Yisrael. The majority of the Jewish people have to be in Eretz Yisrael. Once the 10 Shvatim were exiled, Yovel was bottled. So therefore we teach his man Bezdin. Now, why don't we say, you know what? Zol Zayin B'fnei Bezdin. It says B'chol Artzechem. We're talking here Gzeira de Rabbanan. Shema Yavirenu is not a din min ha-Torah. It's a din de Rabbanan. You're allowed to blow shofar on Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. The Torah says you blow on Shabbos. So also Gzeira de Rabbanan. So say the Gzeira was the Rabbanan was to do it B'fnei Bezdin. Rashi says you can't say it because it says B'chol Artzechem. We're talking about rabbinically.
Then you're never going to be able to do it B'chol Artzechem. Because every single year Yovel is on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is
No,
Shabbos.
Rosh Hashanah has a day of Choyl. It could be Choyl,
Oh,
it could be
so that's what you have to say. Yom Kippur, there's no difference between Shabbos and weekday. Because the Isurei Malacha of Yom Kippur and Shabbos are identical. If they would make the Gzeira Shema Yavirenu on Yom Kippur Shechali is b'Shabbos, they would have to make it on Yom Kippur Shechali is b'Chol also. If the Gzeira was to blow only b'fnei Bezdin, that means the Chachamim, that means the Yom Kippur Shechal in b'Chol, that means the Chachamim uprooted absolutely the mitzvah of b'Chol Artzechem. Torah says blow in your whole land, and the Chachamim are saying never, always Bezdin. They can't say only in years when Yom Kippur is on Shabbos, and when Yom Kippur is on Monday. Why not? You're allowed to carry. You understand? So therefore they would uproot always. Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos is once when it's Shabbos, not every other Rosh Hashanah. And there it doesn't say b'Chol Artzechem. So it's b'chal not a problem. By Yovel, if they would say b'fnei Bezdin, they would absolutely uproot the b'chol Artzechem. Now you say, what's the big deal? Yesh koyach, sheva al tasa. Don't do b'chol Artzechem. It's not a question if you want to find a heter, they don't want to uproot it. They did zman Bezdin, not b'fnei Bezdin. That's the word.
A heter to say that it doesn't have to be anywhere.
No, it's a chiyuv.
Or it's chiyuv.
It's a chiyuv. It's not a heter, but the chiyuv right away gives a heter. It's a chiyuv. Of course, it's a chiyuv. You have to blow in the whole land, but that means you don't have to. That means anywhere you can blow.
If there's a situation where everybody is in the same place, does that mean it's not being yitzah, or it's a heter to say you don't have to be?
Of course.
So if it's a heter, then the
Chol Artzechem means in the whole land you have to hear the shofar. Wherever there's people, I don't think it means that the trees have to hear shofar.
So then
but there's people.
So then it's a heter. So then the chum could
Exactly.
Say it has to be b'fnei Bezdin, literally.
Huh?
If it's the Torah telling you a heter,
So zayin azoy, but it's not mistaber.
They're not being aiker or anything if they say go in front of this. And if the Torah is telling you a heter, then if the chum say
No, the Torah clearly was mated it. Torah was clearly mated it. They're not going to do it.
But it's very different than saying don't blow shofar.
And remember, they're doing it every single Yom Kippur of Yovel.
It's very different than saying don't blow shofar.
Yeah, I know.
Because you're still saying everybody has to hear.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
They're not hearing people there.
But not the B'chol Artzechem. The Torah clearly is matter something, and they're oiked it. And you don't have to. Why not?
Because they're muktzah on Shabbos.
No, the Torah doesn't say you have to move a hammer on. The Torah doesn't say you should move a hammer on Shabbos. So it says you have to blow shofar b'chol artzechem. It means you could blow shofar, but you have to blow shofar b'chol artzechem. It says blow shofar for the whole country. It says taviru shofar b'chol artzechem.
But it means it's not okay for Muslims together.
Does it mean every centimeter there has to be somebody with a shofar? Of course, it doesn't mean that. It's not practical. We're not angels.
Could it be that also in Kippur there wasn't the thing of being yotze with the once you have to go run from a chacham, why should you say also that?
Shemi Avirenu. Because he needs to hear shofar. Everybody has to hear shofar. Malamed shekol yachid v'yachid chayv l'tchaya.
The Seir Shana is that he should learn the hill talachs.
Learn or be yotze the mitzvah or be yotze.
Take it to a chacham
To learn or be yotze.
It's different that the Shana Shefet has parameters that...
It says v'yelech etz labaki lilmud. Yelech etz labaki lilmud.
The city that doesn't have a basil, you can't blow.
No, in the morning. That's what
Even they don't
the
have a basil.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Bisman bezdin. Just do it in the morning. Rashi is just explaining why, in this version, Reb Huna's words are changed so dramatically to mean something else. Reb Huna said 3 words, im bezdin. First in the Gemarah we said im bezdin means shaloi b'fnei bezdin. B'fnei bezdin. Here im bezdin means man bezdin. Rashi says, what happened? Why did you decide it means something else? Im means with. So first you say with means geographically. Then you say with doesn't mean geographically. It means with during the time of the day when bezdin is operating. It's a whole different interpretation. So Rashi explains why. So this question that we asked our Rashi is a question from the Chidush Haran. You could say Medirabanan, it's Bifnei Bezdin. And the answer is the Tureyev and the Shagas Aryeh says that means they would be oiked it always, and that's why Rashi doesn't want to learn it. Yeah. The Yom True and the Tureyev said it. Zog the Gemarah, Meisav Rava. Rava asked a question now again on Reb Huna from another Bais. The Bais says Tkiyas Rosh Hashanah v'Yovel Doiches HaShabbos b'Gvulim. Blowing Rosh Hashanah. Shofar and blowing Yom Kippur. Yovel Doiches HaShabbos. It overrides Shabbos b'Gvulim in all of the cities of the Jewish people. What does this mean? It means, remember, Yom Kippur has a definition of Shabbos, right? Every Yom Kippur is Shabbos Shabbosan, whether it comes to carrying, whether it comes to other malachas. So Tkiyas Yovel is always on Yom Kippur, and it's Doiche Yom Kippur, it overrides Yom Kippur. It also overrides Rosh Hashanah. What do we mean it overrides Rosh Hashanah? The Pashtus. It doesn't override Rosh Hashanah, right? We say that. Rosh Hashanah B'Shabbos not. But the Pashtus it means the Makom Sheyesh Bezdin, as Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said. But the Braisa adds Ish u'Beisai. The Chiyuv is Ish u'Beisai, a man and his home. Frag the Gemarah, 1 sec. My Ish u'Beisai. Ilay me Ish v'Ishtoi. Usually, when it says Beisai, it means a man and his house, like we have in Masechta Yuma, right? V'Chipper ba'adoya ba'ad Beisai. So the Chazal say Zu Ishtoi, Beisai Zu Ishtoi. Gemarah says Rabbi Yossi used to call his wife his home. Like, wife was in. He saw his house was his wife represented the Bais, Akaris Abayis. So Beisai Zu Ishtoi, Ishu Beis, Ilay me Ish v'Ishtoi doesn't make sense. It's a chayiva. A woman is chayiv. A mitzvah says Shas Man Gramehi. This is a mitzvah that's bound by time. It's caused by time. It's not a perpetual mitzvah. It's once a year Rosh Hashanah. Once in 50 years Yom Kippur. It's a pretty nice Man Grama. And we have a principle called mitzvah says Shas Man Grama, Nashim Pturas. Women are exempt. All mitzvah says Shas Man Grama, they're potter. There's only 5 mitzvah says Shas Man Grama that the women are mechuyev, and that is Kiddush on Shabbos, eating matzah on the night of Pesach, shechting the carbon Pesach and eating it, Hakel, and Simchas Yom Tov. Those are the only 5 mitzvah says Shas Man Grama that women are mechuyev. Everything else, they're potter. Whether it's Sfiras HaOmer, whether it's Shofar, whether it's Sukkah, whether it is lulav. They're all potter. Huh? Aliyah l'regel, you're all called schurcha. Simchas Yom Tov, yeah. Simchas Yom Tov, v'samachta b'chagecha, this. And you have mitzvahs aseh d'Rabbanan. Chanukah, they're mechuyev. Megillah, they're mechuyev. And the Chazal explain why, even though it says Mangrama, because they were an essential part of the miracle. They actually made it. Esther, Yehudis, etc. But there's only 5 mitzvahs. Kiddush,
Where is Zachar from in Parshas Zachar?
Mitzad Mechias HaMolek, you're saying. In Mechias HaMolek. Huh? Yeah.
Why do they go crazy for Kiyah Shofar? Because that's the way life is.
The Rambam's lashon is the mechuyev in 5 inyanim: Kiddush and Matzah B'Leil Pesach and Shchitas HaPesach and eating the Pesach, Hakel and Simchas Yom Tov.
To show if they care the kids are coming to Kiyah Shofar, we'll leave the kids alone.
Yeah. They say once, if you let this to make soup. So, frag the Gemarah, so what's Pshat Isha Bais? Isha Bais, It doesn't mean a man and his wife. She's not mechuyev. Ella, lav, ish bibeisai. Every man in his home. Afilu shaloi bizman bezdin. What's Pshat every man in his home? L'chayra. Ish bibeisai. Every person in his home. Even shaloi bizman bezdin. Even not at the time of bezdin. Now, that's what the Rav is saying.
Still a pshat.
Ish bebeisai in his home, even shaloi bezman bezdin. Now l'cha'ira.
Bais doesn't tell you that. Bais just tells the location.
So the Gemarah says lo'olam bezman bezdin. Who told you this? You have a problem with Rabbuna? No, it's taka bezman bezdin. Shaloi bezman bezdin you can't blow. What's pshat? I mean, l'cha'ira you have to understand the kasha of Rava. How does he know ish bebeisai is shaloi bezman bezdin? Right? Maybe ish bebeisai in the morning. Okay, blow. Rabbuna agreed you don't have to do it in front of bezdin. Right? We explained Rabbuna means you could do it in your house. So what's your problem? You're right, very good. Ish bebeisai. Do it in your house. Gesundheit 8. Beautiful. I'm just telling you, do it in the morning, not in the afternoon. What's the kasha of Rava? The pshat is, so today it's a very strong question. What did Rava think? Well, what do you have a problem with? Where does it say? It says ish shaloi bezman bezdin. It says ish beisai in the morning, but beisai. Fakert, it's very geschmack. You don't have to do it b'fnei bezdin. You have to do it bezman bezdin. I don't have a raya from the Bais, but I don't have a refutation of the Bais from the Bais. Bais is not rejecting Reb Huna. There's no proof to Reb Huna. Emes. The Turei Even says it's a kasha on Rava. What's pshat? So the Shagas Aryeh says, Turei Even, his commentary, he says that Rava felt that ish bebeisai is basically, ishu beisai is a chiyuv that you dafka have to blow in your house. Why would they say that? Why would the Braisa say blow in your house? And what if I want to blow in the street? No, only in your house. Oh, Shema Yavirenu. We're talking about Shabbos. In other words, no, there's no such a thing going out. Don't go to your chutzner. Maybe chutzner is called beisai. You basically have to do it in the house. Don't go to shul. Ish and beisai means because Shema Yavirenu. We don't want the shofar being transferred anywhere. When you do it in the house, there's a hecker. You have to do it in the house, and it's going to be much harder for somebody to be Ma'ivir Arbam is B'Rishus Harab. If so, if Rava says, once the Brais already did Ishu Beisoi, you don't need the Inyan of Zman Bezdin. Because you're already Bavarin, you already eliminated the problem. You don't need it. That's his time. Shaloi Bizman Bezdin, because you already have Ishu Beisoi. Not that that's Pshat in Ishu Beisoi. It's not Pshat. Ishu Beisoi means in your house. You could do it in the afternoon also. But once you already have this Vart, yeah? Do it whenever you want, in the morning or in the afternoon. The Gemarah Taka says, no. The Gemarah Taka says, no, it means Bizman Bezdin. So according to the answer of the Gemarah, it could be that you don't have to dafka blow in your house. You could blow wherever you want. It just means you could blow also in your house. It's not a chiyuv, but it's a heter. Chatchila Rava thought it's a chiyuv dafka in your house, mitzat Shema Yavirenu, so you don't need this Zman Bezdin chumrah. Do it in the afternoon because you're doing it in the house. The whole reason of Zman Bezdin is all to avoid Shema Yavirenu. So first he thought it's a chiyuv. So the Gemara says, no, Taka you have to do it with Zman Bezdin. Isha bebeisai is a heter, not a chiyuv. You don't need to come to Bezdin. Do it in your house, but only in the morning. So Reb Huna was justified.
How does it stand with Rosh Hashanah?
Oh, that's a good shaila. That's a good shaila. According to the first Gersa in Reb Huna said you have to do it b'fnei Bezdin, and here it says Ish bebeisai, and it's talking also about Rosh Hashanah. Talking about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, right? Tkiyas Rosh Hashanah v'yoyvel doiches HaShabbos b'gvulin Ishu beisai, and Rabbi clearly said it has to be b'fnei Bezdin. Mamish, a contradiction from a Braisa. Like the second Gersa of Reb Huna, it's perfect. He didn't say it has to be b'fnei. He said it has to be Zman. But like the first Gersa. So take a look in Tosfos. Loi, la'olam b'zman Bezdin. You see? Teima. Isaac, you see what good shilas you ask? A kleyakar one day. And yet that Tosfos. Zok Tosfos, Teima. It still doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. According to the first version, Reb Huna said you have to blow b'fnei Bezdin. Here it says Ishu Beisai. A starke shaila. V'yesh loymar sheyefarish da'ad katani b'gvulin ish bebeisai ayoyvel koy v'loy Rosh Hashanah. So you have to say that the ish Ubeisai is referring to the second case. Tkiya Shofar Rosh Hashanah. Yovel doiches HaShabbos b'gvulin. Ishu Beisai only goes on the second one. The gvulin Ishu Beisai goes on Tkiyas Yovel, not Tkiyas Rosh Hashanah. Umiyu, however, this only works if you do Igaris b'gvulin b'loy vav. In other words, Azai, this teretz could only work if you're guided in the Braisa ubigvulin ishu beisa. So then you could say it's a separate stanza, it's a separate statement. Right? Ubigvulin ishu beisa. Then it's going to work. You could say it's a separate statement, but igaris bigvulin beloiva v'loigar sinon ubigvulin lo yitachan loymar kain, because then the bigvulin goes on both. Bigvulin ishu beisa goes on both. So therefore, it would be very hard. V'shema yefarish the high bigvulin ari b'Yerushalayim dafke, unless he'll say that this is talking about b'Yerushalayim, and over there it could be even shaloi b'fnei Bezdin. Umiyu b'chol artzechem b'chol makom sheberetz Yisrael aidi. The problem is Tkiyas HaYovel is everywhere, not only in Yerushalayim. So that means Gvulin can't mean Yerushalayim, it means everywhere. If it's everywhere, then it says here it doesn't have to be B'fnei Bezdin. So that's what Tosfos struggles with here with the Vart. It's interesting, in the Haggas Hagra, he takes out the word Rosh Hashanah. It's just one word, Haggas Hagra. You see? Aleph. Gemarah Tkiyas Yovel Doicha Kain Tzarech Liyas. He takes out he says the words Tkiyas Rosh Hashanah is a mistake. It made a mistake into the text. You have no problem because I understand why, because the question of Tosfos is a strong question. Huh?
What does it mean Doiches?
What?
Another question is, what does Doiches Shabbos mean for Rosh Hashanah? It's not a mitzvah.
I would say that was also bothering the Vilna Gaon. It says Tkiyas Rosh Hashanah Doiche Shabbos. That's not true. It's not Doiche Shabbos. You would have to say with Bezdin it's not Doiche Shabbos. And this is a Braisa. Not talking about Minat Torah. It's a Braisa. Yom Kippur is yet Doiche Shabbos because Yom Kippur is Shabbos. So Doiche Shabbos, you blow on Yom Kippur. But Tkiyas Rosh Hashanah is not Doiche Shabbos unless you say a pshat, right? But the Braisa doesn't say that, so it could be mitzad that it's b'fnei Bezdin. Not b'fnei Bezdin, but in the makom sheyesh by Bezdin.
But Doiches Shabbos mean Doiches the Isser of the Rabbanan. What do you mean by Doiches?
No, it doesn't override Shabbos. That's the question.
It says that it is Doiches Shabbos. Yes.
But the Tosfos is clearly guidance. Zog the Gemarah weiter. Meisav Reb Sheshes asked the question. Zman Bezdin, in the time when Bezdin sits, there's a certain reverence in the olam. There's a certain atmosphere. It's a more serious atmosphere.
Helps you at home.
That's the part, even at home, yeah. Even at home.
It's like davening b'shas. The whole, davening b'shas, you daven. Somber or solemn occasion.
So the Gemarah Mesiv Reb Sheshes. Reb Sheshes has another question on Reb Huna. We learned in a Bais Shava Yovel Rosh Hashanah L'Tkiya Live Brachas. Yovel Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah are identical in terms of Tkiya Shofar and Brachas. Both of these dates you have to blow Shofar. Both of these dates you daven Musaf in the same way. You have 9 brachas and Musaf, 3 in the beginning, 3 at the end, 3 in the middle, known as Malchi Zechron and Shofars. Ella, the Bais says as follows. Listen to this. By Yovel Toikin Bein Bebezdin Shekitchu Bayas HaChodesh Bein Bebezdin Shalekitchu Bayas HaChodesh. Yovel, you blow Shofar both in a Bezdin that could do Kiddush HaChodesh, that could declare Ish Chodesh, which is basically the Sanhedrin. Who would declare Ish Chodesh? Usually it was the Sanhedrin of 71 members. They would have the witnesses, and they would testify in front of the Sanhedrin, and they would make Kiddush Chodesh. Kiddush HaChodesh, you don't need 71 people. We learned before on Daf Chafei you can have 3 people. However, these 3 are Dayanim from the Sanhedrin G'dayla, from the 71. Or at least they got permission from them, according to the Rambam. The Ramban disagrees. The Ramban holds you need 3 people who are smuchim. They have smicha ish mepiyish. But like Shittas Rambam, Toikin Bein Bebezdin Shekitchu Bayas HaChodesh is the Sanhedrin. Ubein Bebezdin Shalekitchu Bayas HaChodesh, and also a Bezdin which doesn't do Kiddush HaChodesh, meaning the Bezdin of every city. So the Chi of Tkiya in Bezdin, besides the Chi of Tkiya on every individual, is every type of Bezdin. The big Bezdin, the small Bezdin, 71, 23. The Kol Yachid V'Yachid Chayav L'Tkaya. In addition, every individual needs to blow. But Rosh Hashanah, how you Toikin Ela Bebezdin Shekitchu Bayas HaChodesh. Rosh Hashanah that was on Shabbos, not Rosh Hashanah, a regular Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah on Shabbos, they only blew in the type of Bezdin where they were Mekadosh the Chodesh. Remember the shit of Rebbe Lazar? Only Yavna. Why only Yavna? Because there were 71 people there. So that's this Bais, according to Rebbe Lazar, that holds you can only blow Shofar Rosh Hashanah with a Bezdin of 71. Not any Bezdin. Not like Yovel, where you blew in all these Batei Dinim on Yom Kippur of Yovel. Rosh Hashanah Shabbos was much more limited. Ve'ein kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkaya. And on this Rosh Hashanah, not every individual has to blow. Frag the Gemarah, my ein kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkaya. What does it mean? It's Rosh Hashanah shechali is b'Shabbos. Ileim it means by Yovel toikin yechidna, but Rosh Hashanah ain't toikin yechidna. It means Yovel individuals blew. Rosh Hashanah shechali is b'Shabbos, no individuals blew. You blew by Bezdin, and Shluchei Bezdin could blow, representatives of Bezdin. Rosh Hashanah shechali is b'Shabbos. That's prat ein kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkaya. It's not about individuals, it's about Bezdin. And remember which? Only 71, and not every Yachid. If that's the case, it doesn't make sense. Haki Yosef, Rabbi Yitzchak by Yosef. Rabbi Yitzchak by Yosef came from Eretz to Bavel. Amar, he testified, Kav Messiah, Shlichid Tzibur Haki Yosef b'Yavna. When it's Rosh Hashanah, Shabbos, and the Shliach Tzibur, the Baal Tekeya, would finish blowing Tkiyas in Yavna, Lo Shama Inish Kol Une. No man can hear a sound in his ears, Mikol Tkoy Ayed Yechidoi, because of the rash, the ruckus that was created through many people blowing shofar. Whoever didn't hear tkiyas from the Baal Tekeya had to blow himself. So when he finished, everyone took out a shofar and started to blow. And the ruckus, it was so loud that nobody can hear anything with their ears. It was too loud. The tkiyas shofar clipped everything. Clearly, Yechidim are blowing Rosh Hashanah Shechali b'Shabbos. So that's not Pshat in the Bais. Ela lav, you have to say, Pshat is, by Yovel toikin bein bizman bezdin, min shaloi bizman bezdin. Pshat is, Yovel, you blow all day. Zman bezdin, shaloi bizman, all day. Rosh Hashanah bizman bezdin in, shaloi bizman bezdin loy. Rosh Hashanah is much more limited. Bizman bezdin yeah, shaloi bizman bezdin not. In other words, when the Bais says, be Yovel kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkaya, not Rosh Hashanah, it means, on Yovel, you could blow even in the afternoon. On Rosh Hashanah, you can only blow Zman Bezdin. Where is this expressed in the words, Ein kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkaya? Pshat is, listen to this, when you're blowing Bizman Bezdin, it's not called a yachid. When you're blowing Bizman Bezdin, it's under the authority of Bezdin. It's not called a yachid. That's how the Gemarah, that's what the Psheshes teaches. Yovel kol yachid v'yachid in the afternoon. Rosh Hashanah Ein kol yachid v'yachid. Only in the morning. Only in the morning. Only in Zman Bezdin, which is not a gedder of Tkiyah of Yechidim. That's how he's teaching, because he doesn't have another teich. What Pshat? Rosh Hashanah, Ein Kol Yachid V'Yachid Chayav L'Tkaya. So that's how he's teaching it. He's teaching it that what? Ein kol yachid chayav l'tkaya means that the tkiya is only bisman bezdin. That's how the Psheshis teaches it. Zog the Gemarah, what do we see from here? We see from here, Ktani miyas, by Yovel ben bisman bezdin, ben shaloi bisman bezdin. But clearly Yovel, you could blow size man bezdin, size shaloi bisman bezdin, unlike Reb Huna. Reb Huna said in bezdin, which means bisman bezdin. And here it says clearly, not that way. That's Reb Sheshes says Taina on Reb Huna. That's his Taina. We can't teach it like we wanted to teach it. That Rosh Hashanah, Ein kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkoya means that no yichidim blow, like the literal interpretation, because that's not true. Yichidim did blow. So we need a new interpretation of Ein kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkoya. So what do we do? What do we do with this interpretation? First we wanted to say, Yovel everybody blew, Rosh Hashanah not. But that's not true. So we give a new interpretation, and that is what? It's about Zman Bezdin.
That would be Mondays and Thursdays.
Huh? What'd you say?
Mondays and Thursdays.
Now, why don't we say a better pshat? Like you said. Yovel, everybody is mechuyev to blow. Rosh Hashanah, not everybody is mechuyev to blow. They can hear. Beautiful pshat. Why are you going like this? Zman bezdin, shaloi bizman bezdin. Say literally. Yovel, everybody got to blow. It's like putting on tefillin. You can't put on tefillin for me. There's no shlichus in tefillin. Right? You can't eat matzah for me. Everybody has to blow.
Maybe that wasn't the case. That's fine.
Oh, Rosh Hashanah, I don't have to blow. I could blow, but I can hear. Then you don't need this whole pshat. The charaya from here, that's not the case. Chazal didn't believe that every Yid has to blow shofar yovel. Every man, we're talking about every man. We're not talking about a woman. They didn't believe that. That means it's just like Rosh Hashanah. I don't have to blow. I can hear. Hey, Bazay, what's the difference? It can't be that on Rosh Hashanah no Yachid blows. On Rosh Hashanah Shecholi is b'Shabbos. Why? Because they did blow in Yavana. So you have to say a new word. Zman Bezdin. But you understand? This is the response to your question.
What does the Rambam say? I don't know. You said yesterday the Rambam says that everybody has to blow, no? Not the Rambam. There's not one person that says everybody has to blow.
The Rashba asks this question. The Rashba says, Tzarechiyum, why the Gemarah doesn't say this? That Yovel, everybody has to blow. And Rosh Hashanah not. So many Mefarshim want to say the Lechem Mishnah. Others from Hid Gufa, you see that there's no Chiyav on everybody to blow on Yovel. Zog the Gemarah, so l'cha'oira we have a big shaila in Reb Huna. And for the Gemarah law, it's not true. L'oilam bizman bezdin. Reb Huna is right. You grow bizman bezdin. V'hochik tani, pshat is azay. B'yovel bizman bezdin, toikin. Bein b'fnei bezdin, bein shaloi b'fnei bezdin. But Rosh Hashanah toikin bizman bezdin, u b'fnei bezdin. That's the word. Very good. It works. Really, you could blow only bizman bezdin. What's pshat by Yovel? Every Yachid has to blow. Rosh Hashanah not. Doesn't mean Yovel you could blow even in the afternoon. It means Yovel every Yachid could blow in his house. In his house. But only Bizman Bezdin. Kol Yachid v'Yachid. Every Yachid. I could do it my own. Rosh Hashanah ain't Kol Yachid v'Yachid Chayav L'Tkei. Rosh Hashanah is b'Shabbos. The Chiyuv is not on every Yachid in his house. He's not allowed to do it in his house. The Chiyuv is only b'Fnei Bezdin and Bizman Bezdin. So Ein Kol Yachid v'Yachid Chayav L'Tkei means he's not Chayav and Tkiya, only b'Fnei Bezdin. That's the only place where there's a Chiyuv Tkiya. What would be the reason to be Machmer on Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos more than Yom Kippur? What would be the reason? Rosh Hashanah you have to do it Sai in the morning and Sai in front of Bezdin. Yom Kippur you could do it in your own house. What's the reason? L'chayre in both is Gzeira Shem Yavrenu Arbam is b'Rosh Hashanah. Why were they Machmer when Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos? The answer is again because Yom Kippur the Gzeira is even when it's any day of the week. There's no difference, right? So if they would say you could only blow b'fnei Bezdin, they would be mevatel the pasuk Taviru Shofar b'chol artzachem. Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos, right? They're not being mavatal the mitzvah of Yom Teruah Yilachem because every year everybody's blowing shofar on Rosh Hashanah. So therefore, once in a yovel, pun intended, once whatever, when it comes out on Shabbos, they could be machmer and say, do it b'fnei bezdin. Even though the pasuk doesn't say Yom Teruah, besides the fact that it doesn't say by Rosh Hashanah it has to be b'chol artzechem, it just says Yom Teruah Yilachem. But they could make a limit, especially it's not even every year. By Yovel, if they would make this limit on Yom Kippur, it would be every Yom Kippur of Yovel. So therefore they relaxed it and they just said Zman Bezdin, not Mokem Bezdin. Zman Bezdin, not Mokem Bezdin. In other words, being in the presence of Bezdin could mean two things. Geographically and the same time zone. It's a different Indian, even if you're in your own house. And you're also under that influence of Bezdin. Itmer Nami, we also learned in a Braisa, not a Braisa. We also learned from Amirayim. Amar Reb Chia bar Gamda, Amar Reb Yosi ben Shaul, Amar Rebbe. Reb Chia, the son of Gamda, says the name of Reb Yosi, the son of Shaul, the name of Rebbe. Ein toikin el kol zman shebezdin yoshvin. You don't blow shofar Yom Kippur of Yovel only in this man of Bezdin, meaning till Chatzos. This is a confirmation of Reb Huna, the second version of Reb Huna, that you have to blow bisman Bezdin. Rashi says. Ela la'olam bizman bezdin. Previous. Lo la'olam bizman bezdin. Hachi kamar. B'yovel kol yachid v'yachid tekeh bizman bezdin. Afil shaloi b'fnei bezdin. Rosh Hashanah b'fnei bezdin. In shaloi b'fnei bezdin. Lo itmar nami kireb huna. Ein toikin yichidin b'yem ha'kipurim b'yovel. Ela bizman shebezdin yoshvim b'mkoimon. Va'toikin b'chol ha'ir. You could blow in the whole city. B'chol artzechem. But only in the morning. Take a look at Tosfos. Ain't toiken ela bizman shebezdin yoshvin. Pirish bekuntres b'yovel. V'nira she'af b'Rosh Hashanah asa lashmin and afilu b'fnei bezdin ain't toiken ela kol zman sheyoshvin. It could be, I think, pshat is different. Reb Chia was teaching in the name of Rebbe, even Rosh Hashanah, which has to be b'fnei bezdin, there's also a condition of zman bezdin. There's also a condition of zman bezdin. Not only the pshat and the brisa before, but this is what they said. So when Reb Huna said before, the Shoshana has to be b'fnei bezdin, so you might think, but not b'zman bezdin. So we say no, it has to be b'fnei bezdin, and also b'zman bezdin. Not only by Yovel. You could learn Rashi is saying by Yovel you need zman bezdin, right? Rosh Hashanah you only need b'fnei bezdin. So Tosfos is saying no. Rebbe is paskening that even b'fnei bezdin when you need Rosh Hashanah, it has to be also kol zman sheyoshvin. It has to be bizman bezdin. That's the chiddush of how Tosfos learns it. Which this also answers an interesting question, and that is the Rif. Yitzchak Alphas, who collects all the halachas from Gemarah, brings this statement of Reb Chia bar Gamda that ain't toiken ela kol zman shebezdin yoshvin. He brings it.
You said yesterday because he was.
Stellt sich the shaila Yovel is not noyeg b'zman hazeh. The Rif only brings halachas. Rashi says that this is talking about Yovel. Why does the Rif bring it? We don't do Yovel. So why are you bringing this halacha that you have to blow Yom Kippur of Yovel b'zman bezdin? The pshat is if you learn like Tosfos that's talking about Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos, so the Rif is telling you a big nafkamina. The Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos where you have a bezdin. Not only do you have to blow it b'fnei bezdin, you have to blow it b'zman bezdin. Because by the Rif they used to blow shofar Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos in his bezdin because it has to be b'fnei bezdin. But now he adds it also has to be b'zman bezdin. So that's a very big chiddush that it has to be in the morning and b'fnei bezdin. Even Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos. Boy Reb Zayda. Zayda asked the question. Ninaru lamoid v'lo yamdu. Let's say the Dayanim, they ninaru. What's ninaru? They how does he translate? They woke up. They aroused. They stood up.
Bestirred
They what?
themselves.
They bestirred themselves. Okay.
They got out.
Ninaru lamoid means they started to move, to get up, to leave, but v'lo yamdu. But they actually, at the end, did not go. Rabbeinu Chananel says what happened. You know, they got up, they say, okay, everybody have a wonderful day, Hatzlacha Rabbah, and then somebody brought up a Shayla. Like, oh, well, we can't go. And they sat back to discuss it, and they went for another 3 hours. Now you come and you blow shofar, that time. Nina rulamoid v'lo yamdu. Ma, what's the din? Do you say Bezdin Yoshvin bin and Va'ik? This is called Zman Bezdin. Lepoil, they're sitting, they didn't go home. Oidilma Zman Bezdin bin and V'lek. They're sitting, but it's over time. It's not Zman Bezdin. You have the Metzias of Bezdin sitting, but it's not the Zman of Bezdin.
It's a weird question. The Dayanim, they're not sitting on Yantav. They're not sitting on Yantav. You said Bisman Bezdin, they're not sitting on Yantav. Yantav, they're free.
They're not doing din on Yantav, but they're learning.
Okay, but they're not sitting in Bezdin. They're sitting in the Beis Midrash learning.
It says Verbringing, okay.
They're not sitting in Bezdin.
No, the Beis Medrash, their Bezdin was a Beis Medrash.
How would people know if they went overtime?
No. I'm a Yachid. I need to blow shofar for the Shoshana Shechaliz b'Shabbos.
I come to Bezdin.
I'm like, oh, it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. I run. Yeah. I get stuck.
Closing door was not ready.
I come door. The door's closing. Oh, they left us. They're here. It's already 1 o'clock. They're still here. They're schmoozing. Could you blow? You say, sorry, time is up. When they made this takana of Zman Bezdin, does it mean you need Bezdin sitting, or you need the Zman of Bezdin sitting? What was the takana? No, we're talking here b'fnei Bezdin. Of course.
When it comes to judgment,
Rosh Hashanah, Reb Huna said it has to be b'fnei Bezdin. Yovel not, but Rosh Hashanah has to be b'fnei Bezdin. You understand? So that's why it's a very practical question. If he's in his house, Taka doesn't know. But he's not in his house.
He made a bris and they all came to...
If he made a bris or in the morning,
No, I'm saying they all came. So they're all... It's the same question.
71 people came to the bris.
Wow.
Everyone.
when it comes to the judging,
I'm saying in that
you
idea.
have to stop at a specific time, or they can keep going. When it comes to forgetting about
They could, but the Zman was till Chatzos.
but they can keep going if they
Yeah, till
in
the night.
middle of something.
Till the night, yeah. Dinim Amrit, you can even finish at night. We learned. Boyreb Zedem, Niner Olam V'Layamdu Mal, Bezdin Yoshim bin Noikay, Dilmaz Man Bezdin bin Velek. Rashi says, Ninaru, Nekru Min Meishavim G'day Lamed V'Leilach. They uprooted themselves from their seat to start going, but they never left. And for the Gemarah, Teiku, let this question stand, meaning we don't know. There was something else in which Yerushalayim was superior to Yavna, that every city that could see here was close and could come, you could blow. It's a very strange description in the Mishnah. 4 things. Kol ir shehiroya, shoymaz, kroiva v'yechayla. You could say every city near Yerushalayim is allowed to blow shofar and Shabbos and Shabbos. What are these 4 lashonas? So here you see the deal. Roya pratli Yosheves benach. It has to be a city that sees Yerushalayim, not one that sits in a valley, and therefore it may be extremely close to Yerushalayim, but you can't see because of the change of height. So you can't see. That would disqualify Tia Shofar in that place. Next, Shemaz pratli Yosheves b'noi shahar. You have a village on top of a mountain. They see Yerushalayim with the best view possible, but they can't hear the shofar of Yerushalayim because they're too high. It would disqualify. Kroiva, close. Pratli Yesheves chutz l'tchum. If there's a tchum Shabbos, 2,000 amas more between this region, this village sitting in Yerushalayim, even though it's not so far, they could see it, they can hear, but they're not called kroiva. You can't blow shofar there because you can't walk there on Shabbos or Yom Tov. That's not kroiva. Yechayla lavoi. What does it mean? Yechayla lavoi could come. Prat lemafsik lanara. There's a river in between the city and Yerushalayim, and you need a boat in order to pass it. So even though it's close to Yerushalayim in terms of tchum, even though you could see Yerushalayim and you can hear the shofar, but since you can't come to Yerushalayim on Shabbos because you can't walk there because there's a river, so it's called ein yechayla lavoi, so you can't blow shofar. That's the diuk in all of the 4 inyanim. Let's finish here with one Tosfos. Ubiyavne b'fnei bezdin in, shaloi b'fnei bezdin loy. You see that Lamed Amar Aleph? What?
The first one, right?
The first one on top, yeah. We learned that by Yavne, b'fnei bezdin in, shaloi b'fnei bezdin loy. Right? When Reb Huna said in the first gears of Reb Huna, what did Reb Huna say? That it has to be b'fnei bezdin. Yeah? And when Reb Huna also said that when the Mishnah says there's an advantage of Yerushalayim over Yavne, so what did we say? There's a Yerushalayim over Yavne. What's the advantage? The Yerushalayim, you could do it also Shalai b'fnei Bezdin, Yavne in front of Bezdin. So he says, V'ha de shama inish kol une mikol tkiya de yechidai. We learned that in Yavne you couldn't hear the sounds going into your ears because everybody was blowing. Hainu shayu bayin l'tkaya b'fnei Bezdin. Shalai shamu tkiyas Bezdin. In other words, if it was all b'fnei Bezdin, why are they all blowing? The answer is, they came b'fnei Bezdin, but they didn't hear the tkiyah of Bezdin. They couldn't hear it. The oisan sheyatsu asur lehem lachzav l'tkaya. Those who were yoitze already couldn't blow again. The yesh isur shvus b'davar l'tkaya b'chinam b'Shabbos. To blow in vain on Shabbos is an isur shvus. Just to blow shofar. B'chinam. Right. So therefore, those who were yoitze couldn't be tekeya. So they had to each blow themselves. And they missed it. They did it b'fnei Bezdin, because you have to do it b'fnei Bezdin. But they missed the tkiyah of Bezdin or Shluchei Bezdin. They couldn't blow again because they were yoitze already. Stam to blow shofar, you have to be very careful. Because it's an Isur Shvus, it's not Stam you being moitzi somebody else, it's an Isur Shvus, and it's Bechina. So therefore they had to blow. So it's not a stira, but it had to be b'fnei Bezdin. Okay.
This last lot that in Yericho there were special things in Yericho. They were able to see the fire, something, the smell that would hold over here by the same.
No, here it's 4 different qualities.
Oh, they have all 4 of them?
You have to have all 4.
All 4 of them.
Seeing, hearing, close in Tchum Shabbos, and the ability to be able to travel, to be able to walk. You don't need a boat. You could come. So then it's under the hashpah of Yerushalayim directly. That Rosh Hashanah Shechali is b'Shabbos. You could blow in Yerushalayim, and you could blow there also, which is a big chiddush that you could blow there too.
Isaac, thank you.
You wrote me an email about
I wanted to ask
Zayda
you
and Nava.
I wanted to ask you if you saw it.
It's brought.
I don't think I...
The middle of the Rebbe says this. I'll tell you
Alright. With this machlokes? Just had a drink.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask
So
you
the
if you
Hibben
saw
of
it.
Art, it's not Stam. It's the Hibben of Art. It's not the Pshat. It's not the little Pshat. I'll be Pneumius.
wanted to ask if you saw, like, if there's if these are two ways of understanding
Of
mitzvahs,
course,
somewhere like.
of course.
I know it is just from being around, but I don't know where.
Bishmar Rabbi Kiva, yeah. It was a good email. I had a chaptanah from it.
Okay, good. And what about?
I read it at 4 in the morning.
That's when you were getting up early or going to sleep late.
Let's not get involved in that.
Is there any? Could you possibly say any connection to the Rabbi's statement in Benegay to Hektish, where he says if
Lav lahanis. You wrote that.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
It would be a similar word, yeah. To Hamshach.
I want to see. I wasn't sure if you get those.
Yeah. When did you send it? Oh, I just got it yesterday, last night. I guess the guy who got it said it or sent it over. Holding SIF tests, yeah?
Hold on, Benedict.
No.
Drink or don't drink?
Well, I don't drink bichlal, but I mean, a lot of people drink it.
They do. They still do.
Yeah.
Benedictine liquor. It's not. It's supposed to be from spices. There's no. That's what they say.
They ferment spice.
Yeah.
It's good. Tastes good.
I never had it. I just seems to be a little bit of like this in the Chabad or something that you do or you don't. The Rabbi used to, and they took it away for some reason.
What happened was that the Rebbe used to have it at the Fabrengens on the table, and somebody started to ask Shilas.
Yeah.
So he said they shouldn't bring it anymore to the table. They didn't. That's what happened.
But ever said one day everyone will know that it was fine.
I don't know that he said that.
Oh no, that's what it was written somewhere.
Yeah?
That's what, yeah.
He said since they made Shilas, it shouldn't be brought here.
Wait, I don't know, we'll have it or something.
Huh?
I saw something that he's in that, that's true. So.
He wouldn't speak like that.
Okay. So only to avoid machlekes, give it away.
Shilas. But I think privately put him, he still had it. That's what they said. Okay, sif tes. Shin lamet tes, sif tes. Asur la'adam lahashit davar bin nahar lahaylichoy may etzloi oy lahaviyoi etzloi. It is forbidden for one, you know what lahashit is? To float an article in the river, in the water, in order to send it away from him or to bring it to him. You float something in the water. You want to either send it away, to send it away from him, or he wants to bring it towards him. What's the problem? This is also included among the actions which are prohibited because of the decree that one may not swim in a river on Shabbos. V'lachein das. Ksamim shal pnei hamayim. If there are chips, ksamim are chips, floating on the water. Asur lahaftzilam lekan lekan. It is forbidden to separate them to two sides. Kedei lenakas hamayim sheyu yafim, in order to clean the water and make the water clear. So you have chips in the water, so you know how it is. You want to separate them. They're floating in the water, so you want to separate them to two sides in order to clean the water. One is not allowed to do this because of the issue of floating any article in the water. And when you move it away, you cause it to float in the water. It's not just floating on its own. You pushed it, you had it float. However, all of this only applies with respect to a river. Aval bekli, but this decree of the sages does not apply to a vessel that has water in it, oy bebrecha, or a pool of water, sheyesh lo safa, which has a bank around it, like gazru klal over here. The whole gzeira of swimming doesn't apply. Kamoshin is boyer lamayla, as explained above, seif aleph. So therefore, the gzeira of making something float, to send it away or to bring it close, also doesn't apply. So water in a keli, you could make something float. Water in the pool, you could make something float. And as long as it has a safa, meaning it has a rim around it, so it's not like a river. It has a rim that the water is contained within. The pool over here, the whole gzeira does not apply to make something float. Svina, when you have a boat, sifyut, you have a boat, imi yosheves bekarka hayam mamish. If the boat is resting on the waterbed, it's not floating. Ve'eina shata klal. It's not floating at all. You have a boat, it's bekarka hayam. It's literally on the karka of the yam, on the waterbed. There's no floating of the svina. Mutter lekonizba. It is permitted to go in, to enter into this boat on Shabbos. Ve'im lav.
It's anchored.
Huh?
It's anchored. It's a low tide. The tide receded.
It's on a dock, is that?
It's shallow water.
It's shallow water. It's on the bottom of the yam.
It's stuck in the mud.
Yeah, lavdafka stuck. Just
Same. If the water.
Yeah.
He's asking, is it anchored or is it the water receded?
it doesn't even have to be anchored. It doesn't even be anchored.
The water recedes at certain times of the month. Right?
It's the same concept, right?
Yeah.
But if it's more practically would be if it's anchored to that, like if it's on a dock. That's no, it's not.
Yeah, if it's anchored, we'll see in a minute. But here we're talking even not anchored. It's not tied, nothing. It's a svina. If somebody gives it a push, it can go out to the yam. But it's not floating. It's not moving around on the water because it's in one place.
Like on the Hudson, they push it out of the water into the mud.
Right. Yes. The Hudson and many of the lakes, you go, they push it to the side and it sits there.
So that it sits out of the water. We're talking out of the water, or it's marginally in the water.
No, it's marginally in the water, but it's not floating. Not floating. So mutter likanizba, there's no problem. You can enter into this boat on Shabbos. Ve'im lav, but if not, what's pshat if not? If not means if the boat is floating, then asur. Then it's forbidden to enter it. Elim kein nichnas l'soichem b'oid yoim, k'moshen izbayir b'simmer neish mamches. Unless he went into it before Shabbos, as explained in Siman Reish Memches, if he went in before Shabbos, so then it's fine. What happens if this boat is anchored? It's tied, as is customary with boats standing in the harbor. Even though it's floating on the water, the chiddush is mutar l'kanizba. One can enter into it on Shabbos. Why? Because since the boat is tied, so therefore, it's fine, you can go in on Shabbos. V'tzarich sheyehei kosher b'roisha echad b'svina or b'sheni b'yabasha. It's necessary for one end of the cord to be tied with a knot to the boat, and the other end to the shore.
What's that case? I mean, you can make this a silicon of Yom. That means Erev Shabbos, the boat is on the river or...
On the river, it's floating.
He stays there the whole Shabbos?
Yeah, he wants to be there on Shabbos, it's not a problem.
He stays on it.
Yeah.
If you're traveling on a cruise.
Yeah, on a cruise ship.
No, that would be a case. That would be a case where it's going to travel.
Yeah.
But this is a
Right.
It can travel, or
Right.
this is a case where
It's already on Shabbos. If it's floating, I can go on.
But before. Then
But if it's floating, I go on before Shabbos, then you could stay there a whole
then
Shabbos.
you can float with it.
You can float with it, right? And as we know, people go on a cruise, right, before Shabbos, and it continues.
Same thing by an airplane. An
Coming
airboat,
off
they
would
used
be
to
a
call
question.
them.
Huh?
Coming off though would be a problem.
Planes, man, not flying the whole time.
An airboat. So you get on the airboat before Shabbos, and it takes off before Shabbos.
Same avon, same in
Yeah.
take off mitzad what in it?
No, coming off the plane would that be a problem?
Mitzad.
So you're allowed to fly.
If there's no carrying, and there's no tchum, what's the problem?
Two different shoes.
Huh?
A boat is like a rishus for himself. You come off, no?
No. But mitzad what? If you're not carrying, I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm saying if you're not carrying.
So you're allowed to go in, if you go on before Shabbos, then you're allowed to stay there on Shabbos, but you're allowed
That's
to
the point. You're allowed to stay on Shabbos.
And
Yeah?
you're allowed to come back and come off on Shabbos, or for the whole Shabbos?
From the boat?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
So it's not so important to land before Shabbos starts, the same.
Listen, were you going to stay a whole Shabbos in the airport? You're going to walk Tchum Shabbos? Huh?
Some hotels in the airport.
Okay, fine. And what are you going to do? Why are you going to show your credit card?
I didn't think of all the details here.
The whole ocean is not, there's no tchum, right? You'll be on the whole ocean
Right.
all day. As soon as you walk off, the tchum starts.
Yeah.
This class is brought to you by theyeshiva.net. Please help us continue the classes. Make even a small contribution at www.theyeshiva.net/donate.